Arsenal battered Leeds 5-0. It wasn't easy to start off, but things got comfortable, and Arsenal looked like the better team throughout the entire game. What a win for the Gunners. Let's talk about it. As I said, they started slow. For me personally, I was frustrated. Honestly, I was frustrated in the first 30, 35 minutes of the game. It really was reminding me of what we had saw last week against Manchester United and what we had seen even a lot of last year. It was just that slow attack, kind of sluggish, not very creative, some decent chances, but nothing crazy. Definitely was more possession than last week against United. That was still shocking, but I expected that, this week you're going against a newly promoted side. You should beat them. I didn't know if Arsenal were going to put up 5 freaking goals, but I knew that they were going to score today. Did I think it was going to be 5? No, but they put it up. It took a little bit. Things opened up once the scoring started, but I'm not going to lie. Those first 30 minutes, I was a little concerned just because I was like, guys, you're going against this weak of a side. Why can we not get this to kind of open up? But eventually things did, and that's really when the game started to really transform. And as I said, the game opened up. That was due to, of course, a corner, another corner. This time, Jurrien Timber scored off the corner. Again, you'll take whatever type of goals you can get. You'll take whatever you can get in this league. You don't care how you score. You just want to score. Now, of course, for me, I'd like a little bit more goals in open play, but, we don't control how these things go. Regardless, they go up 1-0. They're looking pretty good at that point. And then, about 10 minutes later, Saka scores a beautiful goal. And this is what, for me, separates Saka as a world-class player compared to other wingers that are highly touted. If you go back and watch that goal, if you see the placement of the ball where he put that in the net, not many people can do that, and I just think that's what separates Saka in one of his many ways compared to some of his, competitors at the position. Is just his ability to finish is almost second to none. I mean, he really can place the ball wherever, and it was just such a beautiful strike. And at that point, Arsenal are up 2-0. I'm able to, finally, breathe a huge sigh of relief. I feel great. The pressure's off. Not that I was not worried about Leeds. But knowing that, okay, we haven't played our best ball, but we scored off a corner. We get one of our best players to score. All of a sudden, it's 2-0. Let's just chill out. Let's sit back. Let's defend. Let's maybe score on a counterattack, and let's get out of here. And it just had you feeling a lot better, despite the ugly start. It had you feeling a lot better going into halftime. And then right after halftime, they respond again. This time, Gyokeres gets his first goal with Arsenal. Man, I felt like a proud father watching him score. And he scored a beautiful goal. It wasn't just your typical tap-in. He came down looking like almost like a left winger. Came down, dribbled the ball, was getting defenders off him, and then scores on it, going the opposite way. Beautiful goal, and that's why we brought him here. That's what I was saying when he scored. I just kept yelling, that's why we brought you here, because that's what Arsenal did bring him here for. These games where things are tight. Yes, again, Arsenal had a little bit of a lead, but still. These games where things are tight and you get the ball in the box. All last year, even the year before at times, you were really struggling with getting that guy that was going to finish that. And he finishes it for you. And that's just something that this team hasn't had really in years at this point. And just seeing him finally get over that goal, getting over the pressure of scoring your first goal, especially because it was at home as well, seeing how the fans embraced him. He did the celebration. The players looked like they were elated when he scored. It just seemed like, again, everyone breathed a huge sigh of relief. He scores, and, we can move on now. We don't have to hear about all the storylines from last week. Oh, Gyokeres looks slow. He doesn't look like he has a great touch. Maybe he needs to lose some weight. Maybe he needs to get used to this Arsenal side. Hey, he puts all that past him today, and I'm just so proud that he got that goal. And then again, not much later, Arsenal score another corner. Timber as well. He had a freaking brace yesterday. Good for him. Again, I made this joke on my TikTok. Who's worse at defending corners, Leeds or West Ham? Because if you look at the film this weekend, both of them, my God, it's just complete, just ugly defending of corners. But hey, again, I don't care how Leeds defend corners. If they're going to defend it like that, we'll take advantage of it, and Arsenal capitalized. And then again, later into the game, Max Dowman comes on, the youngest player ever for Arsenal to come on, 15 years old, which is just absolutely ridiculous, and we'll talk about him a little bit later in the video. He draws a penalty. and they give it to Gyokeres again. He takes a great penalty, confident, looks very sharp. And I just love seeing that he looks so confident in that role because he's now going to be our primary pen taker. So I'm really, just excited to see that he smashed that one as well. He didn't get it blocked, nothing. No, he put it past the keeper. It is what it is. He even did the little flick of the hair. He sees the memes, which is great. I like that he has that little, side of his personality, and he was showing that off. I just thought it was a great day for Viktor Gyokeres overall. Other than the star players, of course, I thought a lot of our guys did still pretty well. I thought the midfield looked good. I thought Zubimendi definitely looked more comfortable. It was great seeing Madueke play a lot better, in my opinion, this week. I thought he looked better. He looked more comfortable as well. Made some decent runs, made some decent passes as well. And it was good seeing just, really the depth shine within this team. You get MLS on later. You got Mascara on, which was great. Obviously, you get Dalman on. Nwaneri comes on for Odegaard's injury, which, again, we will talk about as well. But I just thought that even not necessarily the star players looked really well. Like Raya had a really good save at one point. And again, Max Dalman coming on at his age, so young. Yes, at times he looked a little, not necessarily scared, but there were a couple balls that he actually had a pretty decent strike on, but they just went a little wide. Hey, man, he's still getting comfortable. He's 15 years old. He's playing with grown-ass men. I don't care. Regardless, I thought he looked really good for what he was doing, and it just shows that, this Arsenal club, they have so much depth, and that's something that we couldn't say last year. I mean, again, especially just the youth. I like that they're bringing up so much youth because this is what, in my opinion, this is how you should be building a club. You continue to bring up youth. You continue to bring up people that already want to play for the badge, that have been in this system. You bring them up now, then combine them with some premier talent, some huge signings, and that's what I think is a great flesh of both, again, talent that's been cultivated within the club, and then bringing in a couple big names as well to really put everything together. I just think that's how you got to run a club, and I'm loving the way that Arsenal are doing it right now. Now to talk about the injuries. So Odegaard had a shoulder injury. He had a shoulder injury, but then stayed on for about an extra 20 minutes. Eventually was subbed off for Nwaneri. I thought Nwaneri actually looked pretty good for Odegaard when he came on. But again, I have to look at it a little bit more in depth. But I did think that he at least gave a change of pace. But for Odegaard, I hope he's okay. It didn't really look like it was the most serious injury, but still, with Anfield coming up, you don't want to lose any depth. But I hope the best for Odegaard. We don't really have any details, but it didn't look too serious, so I'm really not that worried, honestly. The one that did concern me more was, of course, Saka. It sucks seeing him get hurt because he got hurt right after Gyokeres' goal as well. And again, Saka scored already, so it was a pretty good day for him. But they think it was, again, a hamstring injury. You could really see it. He looked very, very uncomfortable out there as well. It did not look like he was really, being like, oh, like it's just something casual. Like he looked pretty distraught out there. But I did hear prior to recording this video this morning, mind you, this is the day after. This is on the 24th. This is not on the day that Arsenal, played. It's the day after. They're saying that Arsenal thinks that the injury for Saka might not be as severe. So for me, that is a huge plus. We're hoping, again, that it's not that serious. People were originally speculating maybe 6 to 8 weeks. Now maybe if it's not as severe, maybe it's 3 to 4. We have an international break coming up anyways. Let this guy heal. Again, I'm not saying this is a good thing that he's hurt, but if there was a time for Saka and Odegaard to get hurt, getting hurt right now would be better. I'd rather them get hurt now than, down deep in the campaign when we're really trying to make a run. Like, no. And if anything, it might be a good thing to just let these guys kind of rest just a little bit more. Obviously, again, I don't want them to get hurt, of course, but just to know that, hey, it's probably not as severe and just rest up. I think that's the plan for Saka, hopefully, moving forward. And again, like I said, with the depth, you just have so much now versatility. I mean, again, they bring in Eze yesterday for his announcement. I'm thinking next week, if Saka doesn't play, you can now also start Madueke, and then you can also have Eze on the left. It's a little bit better. Maybe you start Ethan now at Cam. Like, this team has a lot more depth than we did the last couple years, and I just love that. Like, last year and the year before, if Saka or Odegaard get hurt, we're pretty much cooked. Like, we're cooked because we just don't have those playmakers off the bench. But right now, we're down Ben White, Odegaard, Saka, and Kai Havertz, and they're still playing well. So it's just we're in a different position. Again, it's early. Maybe the depth won't be as good. But right now, we're seeing that, again, this is why I rated it as such a good transfer window, because they had so much damn depth. And that's what changed things for Arsenal this year. So I'm really proud of the depth, and I just love where the club's going. We have a huge test next week against Liverpool at Anfield. It's going to be huge. I think Eze's going to be making his debut. We're going to need him to step up because, again, you might be down Saka, you might be down Odegaard. We'll see. But I think we have a huge game next week, and I'm just super happy about the depth moving into that game. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. Again, Arsenal smashed Leeds. Great performance for Arsenal. Leeds really were not a threat at all. But again, was that expected? Not really. I didn't expect that for Leeds. So really liked, again, what I saw from Arsenal. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. We're going to be continuing to break down Arsenal and the rest of the Prem. I have my TikTok in the description down below. And leave your comments down below. Just let me know any thoughts you have on the Arsenal game. I will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.